There's the train we used to listen to. What we're doing right now is we're down by the waterfalls in Cleveland, Ohio at 8400, 8402, and 8404 Webb Terrace Rd. It's by the waterfall. And we did not know this, but they have demolished our childhood homes. This lot right here is where there were two houses up, and that was a backyard. My grandfather planted back there by the fence two homes, and then the road came up this way, all the way here, and this is this was a garage, and it was, yes, very close to the ravine, to the road. We're pretty sad. We didn't know this was happening because they had refurbished the Brilla house 15 years ago, and we thought that it was supposed to last for quite a while. So it was beautiful, and they made it a historical place. And then my brother comes down here apparently today, and we see that it's all tore up. It's just crazy. It's just gut-wrenching and heart-rending. I mean, sure, I know that there's change. Things happen. I understand that. But this was so unexpected. No one notified the Brilla family that there would be a tearing down of the home. I mean, what if there was some artifacts in there, or a piece of wood, or glass, something? What if they wanted something from here? It's just so sad. I haven't gone back up in there yet, but I will. Gary's looking at things too. But so his house, which was the really nice house, and they had the lot that they played on, was here. So look, they built. This is the Metro Parks now, but they built it was just so nice. I just don't get it. Okay, they refurbished his house. This is the road here, and that's the road there. And they built a parking lot where they used to play, and it had the backyard. Here's a gazebo, and here's right here where this bulldozer is where his house was. So it's pretty sad. It really is. Gary and I had our 25th wedding anniversary pictures taken here, which I'm glad we did. Goodness, I'm glad we had pictures taken here. But it's so sad. But look at this. Look. You know, the Bible says, from dust you are, to dust you will return. And it's very sad thinking about that. I guess that's why I focus so much on not this life, but the next one. Anyhow, here I am walking, going back this way, and I lived in the front house down here. See where that big tree is where the garage was, and the road actually, so it came up this way, and it came around the two houses, so it came all the way kind of up around in here, I guess, like right there maybe, and then the grass started, and so my grandparents we lived in the front house, which is pretty big, and they lived in the back house, which was a little smaller, but still a big house because it was an old house. And my grandfather made a garden back here behind his house, and even on the side of his house. I mean, he was a gardener. I mean, they were from West Virginia, so they knew how to garden and can and survive. I remember coming back here even. But yeah, it's just strange. I just can't help it. Strange. Goodness. I'm sure they'll make it something beautiful, but goodness, I think I know this tree here. Looks like, if it's a peach tree, this is what my grandfather planted, like, oh my gosh, 30 years ago. I think it is. I believe this is a peach tree. And I believe we have some pictures taken when this tree was like really small. I think that it was my brother and I. Just so sad. And I just wish that they would have told us, give us some consideration, and just tell us that, you know, they were going to tear the houses down. Is there anything that we wanted? I mean, what the heck? Well, it's a beautiful evening, and today's August 1st, 2017. Moved here, I think it was, my grandparents moved here in 65. And I think we moved in the front house, my mom and dad and I, in, I think it was 60, I won't say 68. 69 maybe. Yeah. And then I lived here until 76. When I moved out, Mom and Dad were still here. And then they moved. And then I think Grandma and Grandpa moved back to West Virginia. And sold the houses to my Uncle Jack Wilcox. And then he sold the houses. So, and that's, I don't know what happened after that. I just know that there were people in there and renters. But, yeah. Sad. We used to fight. I think the families used to fight over this for some reason. I think something about a property line with this thing right here. I don't know. It's kind of funny. I think this is how Mr. Brilla measured his property line from here out. So sometimes he would argue when we would come back and forth, of course, to get to our house. And then my grandmother, whew, she was no better, let me tell you. Whew, 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 whew. Anyhow, so here we are. I think it's about it to show, except I'll probably show the falls in a few minutes.